there was never a time where she felt the need to bring in strong males. Lapo, she's a teacher, so there's strong males. Headmaster, nan, worker. Nazi intwana ahomba uchila nobaba usibanibani. So it is kulisa. Like that. None of that. Single mothers don't do that.
So are you then? Yeah, it's crazy.
Single fathers.
Style and substance in the GMC Sierra.
So are you then? Yeah, it's crazy.
Single fathers do that.
And I think men define themselves very simple. And you know why it's like that actually? It's because Amachita know their strengths and weaknesses. And they don't want to find it in themselves to go the weakness that they have of being a mother. They're like, I'm fine, I don't need to know those things. The old lady, now you can play. Whereas women say, I can do it all. Like what you're saying. I can be the father, the mother, the auntie, the grandmother, the shalom king.
We've realized, we've never experienced what it is being a woman. We can have opinions.
And we don't challenge it.
No, but we can have opinions. Of course we can have opinions, right? The same way that the mechanic who doesn't have a car can have opinions about car. Or the car salesman who doesn't own a car can have opinions about cars. Perfect. No one's arguing about your opinions, sisters, just in case you guys are going to get touched.
Yeah.
In this kumangai is that when you think that you are what you are not. Because we never do that. We never overstep them.
How much you done it?
Reach your back, bro. Reach your back. On Mother's Day, I never don't. Now I'm celebrating Gucci. No, I don't do those things, bro. I mean, like, every time anyone asks me about parenting, I give praise and glory to the moms. You can check in. I've never said a single negative nothing about the mothers. Are they perfect human beings? Of course not. No one is. You know, woman, floor power in a point.
It was okay.
Oh, wait.
Immediately I'm last there the podcast. It's almost like she's getting to know me a little bit more through the podcast now. Would you give me last whenever they said this, why didn't you react like this? Because you don't get this at home. I'm like, generally why personalize? Why where's the thing I think? I can more work why on at home it's warm, but outside it's winter. So when people are asking about the comment about winter, I can't answer. It's 6, but napandle it is frost. So I'm chatting generally outside. Bro, you're in trouble for nothing, bro. But you're gonna see on Sunday. On Sunday, we're gonna see again. Gapu bazo post single mother. Women love celebrating themselves. It's like women who buy flowers for themselves in Valentine.
That is a mental disorder. If you love flowers, buy yourself flowers. There's nothing wrong with you buying yourself flowers.
Okay.
Right? Buy yourself whatever you choose to buy.
Sure.
When you buy flowers on Valentine's Day, so that you can post as if someone else gifted you these flowers.
Your cycle.
Your brain is broken. You got a broken brain, though. That's no different than you, like, let's say I painted my fingernails red here, and then I painted these ones, like, let's say, like, matte black, and then I was like, then I do this, and I write, like, his and hers, and I make it seem as if this is a girl holding my hand. Yeah, that's psycho shit, bro.
It is, don't it?
That's psycho, dog. Like, you know, I see people that, like, are habitual liars, that are, in their stories, they are always heroes. Then I want to span in, and I'm like, and we're seeing flames. And I'm listening to their mom. And I was like, do you actually believe some of the things that you said?
They do. I mean, I think if someone can tell you a lie, that lie must have been plausible to them first.
I don't understand.
So if I'm gonna lie to you, that lie must be truthful to me first, so I can tell it to you.
Oh.
Yeah.
But after a while, don't you think, Uti, because you're always the hero?
Yeah.
If it's my bamba,
then it becomes pathological.
My bamba, Uba. Beyonce knows. Hi, bravo. Oh, Beyonce. Beyonce made to say America. Oh,
We've got imaginations too.
Kuthi kwazi bomba Beyonce. Sihle la. Serelbek when bomba Beyonce. Kwazi ukuthi khona abantu uzombuka umuntu uthi no man. Like we all tell stories about our day. We can all be colorful. If it's how's your morning, hey, it's as exciting. Check up, it's busy. Only fridge is we can all tell stories. When in your story, you are the hero of every part of it. You have no jobs. You have nothing. No, I mean, whenever I see a person who's overly a hero, I just go,
yeah.
When you've got single mom tendencies.
You know, it's another pattern of people who lie.
What's this?
They always repeat what you're saying.
What do you mean?
You see, like, that's what what you said. So whatever you say, they say it after, like literally half a second later.
Why do they
do that?
Yeah,
you see, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You must, the people you're speaking about,
yeah.
You must check. Whenever you guys are talking, it's almost like they want to feel like they also had the answer.
Yeah.
So they repeat what you're saying, but within a split of a second.
We all lie. Everybody lies.
I'm saying the extreme lies that you're speaking about.
Yeah.
Part of a pattern of you picking it up. If they repeat what you're saying,
yeah,
they are a pathological lie.
Yeah, but the single mother mentality,
yeah,
of always wanting to be a hero. Guti and everything has to be. I read a post saying, Guti, if you are a single mother, in quotations, where there is the father who's contributing to the child's life, you are not a single mother, you're a single woman.
Yes.
You had that post.
Yeah.
Did you have that post?
Probably. Yeah. That's true though.
Because women don't understand the difference between being because they look at it, yes, okay, sharp, you're a mother that's single, we get that. But we're talking about the connotation and the context in which we speak about when we talk about single mothers. You know, for me, when I think about a single mother, I think about my mother who had no financial support,
yes,
no emotional support, no.
That's what we think a single mother is though.
When you have no support.
Sure.
Now you're saying you're a single mother, you're working, you live with, let's say, your mother who's also working, so that's a support structure. The baby daddy is contributing the lion's share.
School fees,
you still live in his house. He lives.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pay rent. Maybe you're driving his car because he gave it. You understand? Maybe he pays full fees. So in terms of support, aunt, he might be paying for aunt. That is a stay-in aunt. So you're like, Siswam, you've got the financial support, not even support, when or supplement. He's actually covering the lion's share. You've got emotional auntie, you go around, I'm a single mother, you're not a single mother.
Yeah, I think single mothers are celebrated. It's a validation. Most women love validation. So they know that if I
say I am,
yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, how you do it? Yo, you struggle. Oh,
because I know single mothers that are married. Let's say she had a child with Tutebza, you guys split up, and then she gets married with Peter. Then she still says, I'm a single mother, because this guy is not I know women that say that. They married now, but they say they're single mothers.
Hectic.
I'm telling you, there's a
Hey everybody, Walter Goggins here. Starting a business is never easy, but with GoDaddy Arrow, that endeavor.
Hectic.
I'm telling you, there's a
Isn't that thing linked to feminism?
Okay.
In a way that it sort of validates that a woman's existence still carries on outside of a man. And raising children, it's like, even just,
I can also do it.
I can do it.
But you can't. No. You can't. But the thing about some women, because they do not value the existence of a man in a child's life, they've then said, we don't need men to survive. We do not need, because their quantification of what a man is only in you. They never think of how to teach him how to fight.
The idea of your father being stuck in this cell, being tortured.
He's in a very small cell, 22 hours a day at the moment. There have been 10 people who have died in that prison.
What is your message to General Asim Munir, the current leader in Pakistan?
Respect democracy, respect the will of the Pakistani people, and respect the rule of law. Trump has a great relationship with our father and vice versa.
Thank you, Ben.
If anyone can make a difference, he can.
Are you prepared to risk being arrested, going to Pakistan?
So on one side, we just want to see him. It's been too long since we've spoken to him.
Do you fear that he may die in there?
There's so many ways for them to plot some kind of assassination.
Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan has now been in jail for almost 2 years. He's currently serving a 14-year sentence on corruption charges he's always denied. His wife Bushra is serving 7 years. Reports suggest that both Khan and his wife are now being kept in harsh and degrading conditions, which amount to political persecution, and that Bushra has been gravely unwell. Well, Khan and his party remain hugely popular in Pakistan, and the case is roiled the country, which Khan claims is living under an undeclared martial law. Well, joining me from our studio in London are Imran Khan's two sons, Suleiman and Qasim. Well, welcome to both of you to Uncensored. You know, I said this to your dad when I last interviewed him. When I was about 10 years old, I was a fan of Sussex County Cricket Club and used to bowl at your dad in the nets when he played at Sussex. And all I remember about him was he was an incredibly kind-hearted, generous man then as a cricketer who allowed kids to bowl him in the net. So, you know, I go back a long way with your dad in his other incarnations, a great cricketer. For you guys, I know you both love your cricket, but for you guys, just on a human level, let me start with you, Suleiman, if I may. On a human level, you've now not seen your father for how long?
Coming up to 3 years in November.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now, and the best partner is the one who can deliver.
We've seen another meme stock craze this summer, and Coles helped kick it off.
Quarter was just okay.
Quarter was okay.
Just okay.
Okay.
I mean, not anything more than okay.
So not something that would justify a move of 100% in the stock?
Absolutely not.
The Legacy department store saw its stock soar on July 22nd. Since then, it's fallen, but still remains elevated. We've seen it before. The rapid gains and losses of cheap stocks of well-known companies.
I mean, who am I to say that that's bad investing? But it just doesn't seem to be investing at all.
Who have the meme stock buyers having that opportunity to kind of stick it to institutional investors, to smart money, and it's like, look, I can buy something and make the stock go up, and it's not even about the fundamentals. It's just because we have power in numbers and we have the ability to do this.
So how exactly does this happen? And why did Coles get caught in the middle of it? A meme stock is a stock that trades with volatile swings in its share price that isn't based on the underlying business fundamentals. Typically, they are cheap and heavily shorted, meaning retail investors have bet on the price of the stock to go down.
When you're shorting a stock, you borrow it from a broker, and then you immediately sell it on the open market. Let's say I sell it for $100 a share, but I'm hoping it goes down to $50 a share. I sell it, I get that $100, and then when the stock goes down to $40 or $50 a share, I buy it back on the open market, I return it to the broker that lent it to me, and I keep that $50 profit. So you can make huge profits on shorting a stock, but your losses are also exponential because I borrowed the stock, I sell it at $100, and then it goes up to $150. It doesn't go down to $50 like I wanted it to. So now I have to pay $150 to buy it back off the open market because I still have to return it to my broker.
When the short sellers jump back in to buy the stock, it further elevates the share price.
So what you end up is this kind of really intense feedback loop that pushes and inflates the share price. Fluctuations tend to vary, but it is very much a social media phenomenon, hence the name meme stock, because it comes from kind of social media trends and people picking up on it. And a lot of the people involved can be very casual investors. They can be people who are investing in their own homes, people who just love to dabble and play with the markets. They're not traditional Wall Street investors.
GameStop is widely recognized as the first meme stock. A user by the name of Roaring Kitty set off alarms on the Reddit thread Wall Street Bets about the gains he had made on investments in the stock. It led to hordes of investors coming together on Reddit and inflating the share price.
You had kind of this perfect storm. It was heavily shorted. You had Roaring Kitty pounding the drum, and then tons and tons of people piled into it, and then it left Reddit and it became a global sensation, right? And so you were able to drive the prices up to insane highs. The hedge funds that had shorted it needed bailouts, lost billions and billions of dollars. And so legacy, penny stocks, dead names, not just retailers, but you see a lot of that in the retail industry, and that's where Kohl's comes in.
Going into July 22nd, about 50% of the trading activity around Kohl's was investors shorting the stock. Much like GameStop, online chatter took off on platforms like Wall Street Bets that kicked off the squeeze.
Kohl's is a well-recognized name. It's a household name. And it's much easier to get people interested and excited about manipulating a household name than it is with a relatively unknown stock. And I think that recognition is quite important in allowing the meme or the narrative to spread and for more people to jump on the bandwagon.
Kohl's chief marketing officer, Christy Raymond, actually benefited from the upswing, selling 26,500 shares, or about $500,000 worth of stock. A Kohl's spokesperson told CNBC that this trade occurred automatically as a part of a pre-established trading plan and would have been made on any given day when that price threshold was met. In the days following Kohl's meme stock surge, GoPro, American Eagle, and Krispy Kreme also saw sharp swings in their stocks. Once again, Reddit users came together to short squeeze the company's stocks. Open Door Technologies was another name that exploded in July, even before Kohl's, but it was mainly driven by hype from one hedge fund manager in particular.
It can be really hard to predict what's going to be the next big frenzy. You know, it's typically companies that might have a household name, you know, maybe some nostalgia factor, right? You had a Bed Bath & Beyond was a meme stock. Kohl's is obviously a department store that many grew up shopping in. GameStop, we know about that one. AMC, GoPro, and Krispy Kreme are certainly household brands that we all know. So any company that's really down, heavily shorted, it could be the next meme stock, but it's really hard to predict which one is going to see big gains, which ones people are going to lose money from.
Here's a 1 month look at the share price of other companies that got thrown into the meme stock frenzy along with Kohl's. One common thread amongst these stocks are that they trade cheaply. Kohl's business, for example, has been on the decline for years. From the beginning of July 2021 to the start of July 2025, Kohl's stock price was down around 85%. The company has seen shrinking sales and declines in profitability. A 2024 report from Global Data found that Kohl's has lost 1.3 million customers over the previous 5 years to competitors like TJ Maxx, Target, and Ross.
Sephora has helped them to grow, but in a way that just shows the weakness of Kohl's, because most of the beauty growth has been driven off the back of the Sephora brand. It hasn't been driven because the Kohl's brand is great. So Kohl's is in a very, very difficult position. They're trying different things. They are experimenting. They obviously have problems with their CEO at the start of this year, and they now have an interim CEO. So there's a lot of moving pieces at Kohl's, but the general message is this isn't a retailer in a great state.
Between 2019 and 2024, its Sephora partnership has led its beauty and accessory sales to rise by 38%. Still, overall sales are down 18.5% during the same time period. And when the beauty segment is stripped out, sales are down around 26%.
Whilst there are weaknesses and there's a lot of shorting of the stock, this isn't a stock that is at danger of going bankrupt imminently. But, of course, there is a danger with all these kind of financial maneuvers, because a lot of people piled into Bed Bath & Beyond believing the firm actually had a future, and of course it didn't, it went bankrupt, and there were a lot of retail investors that lost money from buying the share prices at inflated levels. So in some ways, having these wild swings, if they persist, it is a distraction from the day-to-day, and that's where Kohl's needs to focus. It's on the day-to-day.
Busy day? I get it. When time's tight and meals need to happen fast, Quickstar's got your back.
This video is brought to you by Incognito. Now, the difference between an average person and a billionaire is essentially zero. Unfortunately, about 9 of them. Nevertheless, if you're a regular person, you walk around the same streets as both the Riff, the Raff, and professionals all the same. You probably know people who still live at home, friends slumming it with roommates, couples sharing a 2-bedroom, and high earners with a single-family home, a dog, 2 kids, and the white picket fence, giving you a decent perspective of life for the average person. But when you're so rich that money basically doesn't matter, everything changes completely. One unavoidable characteristic of becoming a billionaire billionaire is that you end up in such an isolated social circle that you often cease to relate to the common person and your life becomes unrecognizable. For this reason, billionaires actually have more in common with the homeless than they do with most people. Doesn't pay taxes, undiagnosed mental illness, on the kind of drugs you don't even know how to get, and never even heard of the Epstein files. Now, it's natural to look at your life where you work 40 hours a week for just enough to scrape by and think, how does someone even get to be a billionaire in the first place? It's really pretty simple. At some point or another, we've all had the genius thought, what if 1 million people just gave me $1? It would barely inconvenience them, but then I would have $1 million. While most of us stop at this fantasy, impressed by our own raw ingenuity, some people throughout history have gone further, extrapolated on this scheme, and invented what is known today as a business. As an example, Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph thought, what if you give me $16 every month and I mail you Shrek 2 on DVD? Easy $6.5 billion. Elon Musk said, what if you give me $8,000 and I pretend to give you a self-driving car every year for the next decade? Richest man on earth. Mark Zuckerberg said, what if I give you an app that collects all of your personal information in a giant database that I own, and you give me a heat lamp and a bowl of grasshoppers? To really drive home how much wealth billionaires have, when someone says they're a billionaire, they're one of only 800 people in the United States. In contrast, if someone says they're a millionaire, it means they have a house. While politically it's commonplace for progressives to hate billionaires because they epitomize late-stage capitalism, I don't make fun of billionaires because I have an ideological bone to pick. I make fun of them because they're really fucking weird. Recently, Peter Thiel, a tech billionaire and right-wing ideas guy, appeared on a podcast and was asked if he thought the human race should survive. He then stammered over the question for 15 seconds before reluctantly answering with the classic, yes, but. Now, I'm no expert in media training, but as I frequently tell Putin, Hamas, and Benjamin Netanyahu on our weekly Zoom meetings, the correct answer to human rights questions is always to say yes right away, and only reveal later that you had your fingers crossed out of frame. Billionaires like Thiel are almost alarmingly out of touch with how to communicate with the general public, because even though he can understand a regular person's life conceptually, he can't relate to them on a personal level. For example, I get really hot at night when I go to bed, so I like to turn the temperature way down. Whereas Thiel prefers to sleep in a deep freezer, he lays down like a sarcophagus. Now, the good news is that not all billionaires base their whole personality on World of Warcraft expansions and name their company after the magic rock Sauron used to corrupt weak minds and manipulate their will. Warren Buffett, for example, has not only pledged all of his wealth to charity after he dies, but he also still lives a very humble life in his house in Omaha that he bought in 1958 using the change he picked up off the ground. Nevertheless, most billionaires don't do much to shake off the public image that their whole existence is just about lording over their minimum wage warehouse workers as they Zillow the next 2,000 hectares of farmland to buy. Less, most billionaires don't do to check personality on World of Warcraft expansions and name their company after the magic rock Sauron used to corrupt weak minds and manipulate their will. Warren Buffett, for example, has not only pledged all of his wealth to charity after he dies, but he also still lives a very humble life in his house in Omaha that he bought in 1958 using the change he picked up off the ground. Nevertheless, most billionaires don't do much to shake off the public image that their whole existence is just about lording over their minimum wage warehouse workers as they Zillow the next 2,000 hectares of farmland to buy, sip their cognac, and mutter to their Siamese cat what pleasure it brings them to see the peasants toiling for their coin. But this isn't how billionaires run companies, this is how Mr. Beast comes up with video ideas. The ethical question of should there be billionaires at all is one of the most hot-button issues around right now because wealth inequality has been steadily increasing decade over decade, and many people believe that billionaires don't pay their fair share. This is of course ridiculous, as billionaires get divorced all the time. With that said, it is a common belief that if the government were to confiscate everyone's personal wealth above $999 million, this would lead to a dramatic improvement in the standard of living for the average person. Problem is, even if you were to yoink every stock, bond, and square inch of real estate a billionaire owns, liquidate all of it to straight cash while somehow getting market value, in the US you would get about $6.22 trillion, which would cover 11 months of government spending, or every person in the country would get a one-time payment of around $18,000. While this is nothing to scoff at, if you're one of the people who says we should eat the rich, it's important to consider that the average inheritance in the US is $46,000, meaning you would make more money if you ate just one of your parents. Now, because they can't yet buy more of it, billionaires are experts at managing their time. While flying private is out of reach for most of us, there are other tips you can copy from billionaires to save time in your own life. For example, when I make a new account on a website, I save time by letting Chrome auto-generate an encrypted password. I got this idea from Elon Musk, who uses the same technique to name his children. When you basically reach level 99 in capitalism, you might ask yourself, what do I do now? Not to worry, once you've reached the level cap, there's still plenty of side quests for you to do. While most regular people spend their time playing video games, doing arts and crafts, or playing a sport, billionaires can choose more exotic things like getting bullied on Twitter, criticizing the Chinese government exactly one time, paying pro athletes to make you feel talented, leaving the planet in search of any novelty that will make the emptiness go away, paying to boost your Path of Exile account, then streaming it to prove to anyone who doubted your multidisciplinary genius that they were in fact correct, exploring the bottom of the ocean to uncover its lost secrets, and of course exploring the bottom of the ocean and then dying instantly.
So this is a pretty big box from JBL. I know it's a new product, I know it's a new release.
Instantly. In reality, when you're worth even hundreds of millions of dollars, an ultimately rookie amount, you can pretty much have anything you want. Penthouses, luxury cars, private chef, private plane, giant house, and another giant house. That kind of sucks but has good weather, and you're not sure if purchasing power parity means the gardeners are getting paid well by their standards, or if you just own slaves. With this in mind, if you are a billionaire, it's actually pretty hard to think of a way to flex on multi-millionaires, meaning the 23-year-olds on Raya who look like they're 35 aren't going to message you back. That is, of course, until you remember what separates the centimillionaires from the billionaires. Big boat. Ask a girl if she'd rather be stuck in the middle of a forest with a random bear or a random man, and she picks the bear every time. Ask a girl if she'd rather be stuck in the middle of the ocean with a random shark, or stuck in the middle of the ocean with a random Saudi man, and she picks Muhammad every time. This is because men in the forest are broke, meaning they'll try to touch your boob, whereas men on yachts are rich, meaning they have grown weary of material desires and flew you out business class for your quirky personality. While no one has tried to sex traffic me yet, the closest I've been able to get so far was when I was on a holiday in France several years ago and made a day trip to Monaco. Now, for people not in the know, Monaco is a tiny sovereign nation basically inside France, and is like a Vatican City tax haven for the ultra-wealthy. They have a little garden you can look at near the Monte Carlo casino, which was the only thing I could afford. And as you walk through, you're like, oh, a little building. Hopefully this one's the bathroom. Nope, just another Audemars Piguet watch kiosk. Then you pee on it anyway because you're in Europe. Other than this neat oceanographic museum, what I thought was the coolest part of Monaco was the port, which was divided into sections based on how important people in Monaco thought you were. In the very inner part of the harbor, you have the literal wage slave section, which is basically all the yachts that I would see back home. Then there's Worthless, which had the biggest yachts I have ever seen in real life prior to this. After that, you have Starter Yacht, which are like floating New York City penthouses. Then the last section in the harbor is, finally, a real yacht, which is one giant pier for the 2 or 3 mega yachts that rule the Monaco postcard photo and cost at least $100 million each. Obviously you don't stop there because these things are a dime a dozen, so then you go out in the ocean and you get, what is this, a harbor for ants? Now you might be thinking what I was thinking at the time, which was, even if you were a billionaire, why on earth would you want a mega yacht so big you can't even park it in the harbor? Exactly, to store your other yachts in, broke, you get with the program. At this point, I too was wondering how I could acquire a Russian nesting yacht until I was like, speaking of, what's that? Maybe a few kilometers farther out from the shore was this thing, which is the world's largest sailing yacht, and in the top 5 most expensive yachts ever built. It's owned by Andrei Melnichenko and designed by the guy who made this cool lemon squeezer that my mom just bought. Even though I had forgotten the oligarch-class yacht existed, this guy claims he doesn't even have ties to the Russian state, making him just a regular, unimportant billionaire. This argument, of course, didn't work on the Italian government after Russia invaded Ukraine because they saw the yacht parked outside their shoreline and said, yoink, which brings us to the true top of the hierarchy, which isn't who owns the biggest yacht, it's who owns the biggest ocean. And you know what that means. That's right, baby, the taxpayer wins again. Checkmate, billionaires, me and the boys have once again risen to the top. Now, if you're looking to... if you're looking to avoid calls from the IRS or other scammers that manage to get your email or phone number from Zuckerberg's...
We needed a project manager yesterday. We posted a job on ZipRecruiter and had our guy on site in 5 days. He was qualified in every way. ZipRecruiter finds the best candidates for all our jobs. They helped us.
I've been avoiding this conversation for so long, and I get so many DMs that demand that we have this conversation, and specifically with you guys. double ones. From where?
Originally from Soweto, and unfortunately asinawo amakhaya.
Okay.
But I believe abanye base Mount Frey.
Okay.
Ngihlala ngizwa nje kuthiwa une-family laphaya hambe uyobafuna and basebukhosini, so I think I'll make ways. I think we're the same.
No, please do.
Definitely.
Ayanda yini? Ayanda amantombazane amagatsheni kwanda ini amandlovu. Oh, beautiful. Boya Benyathi. Thank you so much for joining me. I've got 26 questions. I know we don't have enough time. I'm going to try and go through these questions as quickly as I can. You guys can pick one after the other. If we can get through them as quickly as possible, I know we'll be out of time by then. But if we're not, then we can just have a chat.
How long do we have?
1 hour, 1.5 hours, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happiness.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So I think you guys can take turns, one after the other, and then if anyone wants to add anything to the question, then we'll take it from there.
Thank you for giving us an opportunity to actually come and tell our own story.
Yeah.
Because our message has been misplaced and abantu bayikhuluma nje ngedudula, but I guess today abantu bazozwa from the horse's mouth what is it that we are about.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that very much. And look, Sibonga, my podcast, no YouTube, because in the past news channels used to curate interviews and then even edit out things that they don't like. They pre-record.
Yeah.
I think even as recent as last year with the elections, there were certain interviews that were taken down.
Yes.
So you realize that there's still agendas at play. But luckily we have platforms and we can take it from there.
And we appreciate these platforms, eh? We really appreciate them.
They reach out to
a lot of people. And in actual fact, I think social media has become the more preferred platforms, because you have to even be ending. But at least you can watch on your phone and be anywhere, and also the exact same thing. Nothing is censored, and I hope this one will also not be edited. Everything is
so again, these questions are just straightforward. Please answer to the best of your ability. I'm going to try to not interrogate, etc. Do you know what happened and why Mhlanhla Lux and Advocate Ike Khumalo left Itudula?
Can I be the best? I'll
Please
be the best person to answer that. So, Ike Khumalo has never been a member, but a supporter.
Okay.
Now, how we knew Ike Khumalo was because of our videos, Abahlala Wayens. We got inspired actually. The problem, this gentleman is actually what we are facing as a country, and a country iyahamba, and but ubekhuluma facts. And then when we had our meetings, he then joined, but he was a supporter. That's why we kept supporting him. There was a time when he was prisoned and all that. We always supported him, even in my courts. Now Mhlanhla Lux,
you don't know why I left?
So no, he was a supporter.
So
he was never a member. No, he was a supporter.
Okay.
But one thing that I don't like about Ike is that when he hears things, rumors, he will not come and confirm them. He will go on social media platforms and talk about them and actually authenticate them, without even coming to us and find out what are the issues and whatnot, and then and there was a time when he did that about 2 years ago, I think. He came back and apologized to say, hey, izinto ziyazakimi ziyayizela ngingazibuzanga, and then I start talking about them. Like, that's
you apologize in person?
Yes.
Not on social media?
There was one where he apologized on social media, but there's one where he just spoke to us. In most cases he talks to Kruger, one of the founding members, and they next time I'll confirm and all that. Even after the breakout, there was another breakout, I think a year ago. They invited him to that meeting. He phoned us to say, I'm invited to abantu laba bahambile kini and whatnot. I'm going to go and listen to Tiwan. We appreciated that, and I think that's how we need to manage izinto zethu, and sekela ukuhamba sikhuluma nje without verifying information and all that. But we good. We still appreciate him because the reason why sinedudula, it's because of izinto sasizizwa ngayo. When you start mentioning ukuthi country yahamba, we got inspired and we started idudula. And Tlatlalax was never Tlatlalax was never a founder. He was never a leader. Operation Dudula has always had a structure, so we always work as a collective. So in Tlatlalax, when you joined us, Ufige as a traditionalist, you know, umuntu ekuthiwa une youth, but we've never even seen a youth yakhe. But we accommodated him. He's smart, he's outspoken, and you know, we gave him the platform because he was good at what he was doing. But the one thing that happened is that if you're not going to respect the people that you work with or the people that are giving you the platform, that's where the problem started. He didn't leave us. Some closure, but in a nice, proper way. We didn't want it to be messy. So we had, because after we've learned Uti Soweto Parliament, then we asked him, you know what, let's separate, go focus on issues, the Soweto Parliament, go deal with your, I think at that time we deal electricity and all that, and then Tina will continue fighting in the illegal migrants. So some closure, but we didn't want it to look messy. We even had a media briefing. The separation yet, but because Tlatlalax waba big-headed, because they say face, you know, and we gave him that. But you know, I'm one of the founding members. Him, Solomon, knows a guy called Robert Klaba. Robert Klaba left us a few months later. We are the founders, and everything is Sienza is a collective. I'm the leader of Dudula, but when there's anything, I still call my colleagues and say, this is what's on the table, how do we tackle it, before I even make my own decisions. So in Tlatlalax, we'd be sitting at home watching TV. How Tlatlalax on an interview? Okay, we know nothing about it. We are Kulmeli Dudula, Uzotin, because he was new at that time. But Tlatlalax joined us along the way. He doesn't know how it started and where. And you know, we just had to let him go because we spun Guti silethelwe inkinga because Tlatlalax was an infiltration.
Infiltration?
Yes. Tlatlalax was sent to come and destabilize the Operation Dudula. He tried first time, he didn't succeed, he left. Wabuya wacela uxolo, and we forgave him. Wabuya, but of course damage because at that time ubese waziwa ngithi besaka hero sebambiza upresident and wabona ngathi he's got it all, and wathi meke hamba wacabanga ukuthi uhamba nabo bonke abantu, but bese bambonile abantu ukuthi inhlobo bani kaPende. It's all about himself, and
who sent him?
He's ANC people. ANC. That I'm 100% sure of, because that's the same reason why Esenabo man. You know, we had meetings. Yeah, we had meetings. Lama meetings were to bring aziwa umuntu, but Tlatlalax knew about those meetings. My comrades knew about. For example, I'm not going to mention names on this one. So we had a meeting with a prominent person in one of our political parties, and it was a secret meeting because he was sent to come and find out which was a good thing. Nobody knew about that meeting, but Tlatlalax wangen and joined us in that meeting when nobody knew about the meeting. So now we understood it's okay. He was sent asim dedelena hambe because before he causes too much damage, but along the way we've also learned Uti he's very close with Abante Silwana. For example, there's nothing wrong being close with foreign nationals and Tontoni, but we can't be fighting Abantu Beipaza shop and you are very close now, but you have you and your guys Ninama security companies are protector, the very same people in Silwanabo, because remember Ayamas Paza shop is something else. It's more of township economy, and Tina City Sifuni Biele Zandlen Zama South Africans.
Yes.
When you are protecting good Abangaham, there was a time before June 16, I think a day before, when we had our biggest match, the very first match we had as a Dudula. And Tlatlalax winds a video with your Somalians and Ethiopians inside his yard. And everyone was shocked. Yeah. and we had to defend, you know, maybe I understand the lenta yenza some explain, but what he kept telling people is that asisafune amanye amaspaza shop that are going to mushroom lazy esinazo, they are enough, but you know, we're saying we don't want them. We want them to be owned by our own South African.
He became a protector of foreign shops.
Yes. Namanje, it's still happening. There was a video, in actual fact, when I was going through my TikTok, Guvele Makshona Bantwana Soweto. Remember the poisonous snake saga thing? And he came to actually tell people not to loot. But we all know which it's not about looting. It's about making sure laba bantu laba and the stock sabo, everything is safe. So yeah, even on social media platform, and you know, it's unfortunate for him because he was doing well, and he became big-headed. I know he came several times. I don't know how many times he came to this very same place, sitting with you, claiming he left because we wanted to be a political party and he was against.
Creating can be lonely. I'm the scriptwriter, the filmmaker, the editor, basically the answer to everything.
Against that, it's not true.
He was long gone.
He was long gone
when we took that resolution. He was long
gone, and we still don't want to be a political party. It's just, unfortunately, you can't go and help people who is civic. You have to, in order for you to contest, you must become a political party. But if there was an option of contesting, say, civic, we would have remained as a civic. That's why we're still operating as a civic, because Lente Politic, we are in this mess today as a country because of politics.
No problem. I'll just call this Ayanda. I wanted to ask, are you guys friends with any undocumented immigrants? I mean, you're alluding to Inhlanhla Lux working with them. Would you guys work with any of them? If yes, in what capacity?
No, I think we'll be contradicting ourselves if we say we will work with them. You know, because we're advocating for everyone to be documented, right? Everyone to be so mabelana undocumented abahamba bagodo here, they must come back documented, and then our opportunities our South Africans, that's number one. Number two, if bahamba be documented, that means they come for a good reason, and they would have been vetted, and then must be last years okay, fine, it's for Amaska skills, or they will invest, or all those things. So so that would be more than welcome. But when they are undocumented, then they are criminals.
Is it Tutula you guys don't work with undocumented immigrants?
Okay.
No,
work with them because
in the mission that you guys are on,
undocumented
yes. You guys don't work with them at all.
There's no way we can work with them, because right now there's people my enemies. So even the documented, there are those ones that claim to be documented. You don't see them trying to help South Africans or trying to talk to their people. Guys, it's wrong. Undocumented. So I would say aware but our social media, some of them have voices by guys, let's go home and fix our problems, which not necessarily supporting us, but at least they are talking to those people, right, which we appreciate. South Africa has been hosting us for the longest time. They got education, they got everything, but it's time to go home, which we appreciate, even if they don't mention to do this and that, but they because there's nothing for them here, seriously.
Would you guys be willing to sit with some of their groups to try and find solutions?
Okay, let's first start. I want to get clarity.
No problem.
We've been talking about undocumented.
Yes.
Is that are we still on sitting with undocumented?
I'm speaking about so your Operation Tutula's got an issue. My understanding, I could be wrong, with undocumented immigrants.
Yes.
Who are here illegally.
Yes.
So my question is, does the operation
undocumented migrants? I'm a foreigner. There's no word undoc. If you look at the Immigration Act, aliki gameliti undocumented.
Because they're not supposed to be undocumented.
I'm stopping to Google 7 because we thought I respect city undocumented. No. It's foreigners.
Illegal foreigners.
It's illegal foreigners.
You prefer that one?
Yes.
Okay. As Operation Tutula, you guys are trying to fight the issue of illegal foreigners.
Yeah.
So my question was just, Are there any illegal foreigners or illegal foreigner groups that you guys work with to say, guys, asibambisane nihambe since seasons? Basically what I was asking.
We shouldn't even
or do you guys not engage them at all?
We shouldn't even have illegal foreigners because, I mean, South Africa is a country and it's a territory. And good territory, there are rules. So why do we still have people coming in the country being an amaphela? Now, Operation Dudula is saying we are 100% against illegal foreigners.
Yes.
But also, because we have those ones who are claiming to be documented, but sonke siyabona ukuthi how many times have we busted bogus home affairs?
Yeah.
The other time besila a park station, we bust one home affairs. Mungena lapha government yonke because kunamba birth certificate, death certificates, IDs, passports. Oh, Minister Mutwaledi at that time when he was a minister of home affairs, he busted another one in Krugersdorp.
These are officers operating.
Yes.
But they're not official officers.
No, they're bogus home affairs. So both Basizan.
Okay.
I need to nati we have our own South Africans about corrupt that we actually have to deal with because Tina, we just hate illegality.
Yes.
So even if you're a South African when things wrong, we'll still deal with you. But sifuna clean kahle country yethu abeze illegally, they must go back home.
Yeah.
Nama issues abala legally. Roaming around the streets. You know, you'd find, I'm sure you'd see them Emma Robertine. Uzothola bomama abadala bahleli nabantwana abancane begging for, you know, maybe something to eat or something. Because from onset. Because you can't come all the way from Zimbabwe. I guess most of them are from Zimbabwe. You can't come all the way from Zimbabwe, Uzela, just to be a beggar. You can't. So this thing is a syndicate, and it's something that we need to deal with because even now, Bolabomam, kunomuntu ofika babeke emarobotini. Ambeke kule robot nabantwana ayombeka kwelinye nabantwana ayombeka kwelinye nabantwana. At the end of the day bayabuya bazoba collector kuthathwa imali bababeka somewhere.
Yeah, apparently those kids are kidnapped somewhere because I've heard a Malawian guy on a TikTok video which these kids are there's a syndicate between Zim, Malawi and what's this, Namibia, Zambia, something.
What's close?
Not Mozambique.
Yeah, no. but between in what's the country in SA close Nelo to ne Zimbabwe. La bashara kon e Victoria Falls. What's that? The other country?
Not Tanzania.
No. But yeah,
that's a syndicate. With Labantana Laba, they are kidnapped. They are not even their parents.
Okay.
But in that point, which is sitting down with them, I'm sure you've seen which was 200 on social media. So none of them have reached out to us. Tina, we are not in a position to sit here and say and call on them. But guys, please come here. Let us help you. They've got presidents in their countries.
Yeah.
Those are the people who are supposed to call their people to say, come back. Let's fix the country.
Foreigners, what you're saying.
So
number one.
Illegal foreigners must go. Those, like I was saying before, who claims to be legal until there's an audit, like we always say, sifuna kube ne audit ends why when you come and claim you are legal, we want to know uzube legal kanjani, like you have a spouse permit. Figure out legal and then was only permit along the way. So those are the things that we're stealing us of food, but we don't hate them.
Yeah.
They are our brothers, they are our sisters, and we are willing to help them go and fix their countries because currently that is a problem. You can imagine Zimbabwe, globally.
Yes.
And it means we're a problem.
Yes.
And unfortunately, that ZANU PF is a problem. And my comrades, the ANC.
Yes.
And the ANC is doing exactly what happened in Zimbabwe. So it means if Tina as citizens we don't stand up for ourselves, so it's fine in Zimbabwe. So as we sort out Tina as South Africans, we'll go help them in Zimbabwe. I mean, there's a case, of some few Zimbabweans. One you say UK, abanye basekhaya, and I believe because it's a group of 600 people, abanye maybe bakhona la. They want to go back home, so they've been saving imali, I think for 2 years, bana about 18 million. but nje
18 million rand.
Yes.
Okay.
So isichwaga nje lesi C1 decided ukuthi uzoba knock
a fellow Zimbabwe.
Yes. Uzoba knocker and not do what the money was supposed to have done. So they were supposed to buy equipment yokuthi bahambe bayo farmer and all that, so that bazenzela amabhizinisi wabo ekhaya. So at least it would have been minus 600 of Zimbabweans, and bebezoqasha nabanye, obviously bebezohamba nabanye baqashwe, you know. So those are the people kumele sidile ngabo, because they are hindering progress yethu even nathi as South Africans, because thina sifuna bahambe bayosota out emakhaya. When uthatha le 1 million because greedy, uyisebenzisela wena for into zakhe ezipersonal, siyamfuna and we're going to make sure ukuthi siyamthola, so that azokwazi aba brothers bethu bakwazi ukuhamba. Those are the people esifuna ukubasiza, because we can see ukuthi there's a will of going home and going to fix. Bahlali basitshela ukuthi hey i-army yalaphaya ayikho into ozoyenza makucala nje usukumisa ikhanda liyaqaphulwa ikhanda lakho. But izinto ekumele ngabe, you know, the likes of ama-liberation movements, izinto bekumele ngabe bahlala phansi bazikhuluma ukuthi how do we help our fellow Zimbabweans? It's just good now nje bavele baphaphe mesebala. I don't want to talk about his name, this guy who feels so entitled ukuba la kule country, and you know uphiwa too much airtime
by people like myself.
Yes. Now airtime eningi, you know. That's why asidelela kangaka, because he comes here, talks about issues that are affecting us as South Africans. Akumela ngabe ukhulumela thina, akahamba yekubo ayolungisa, so that azoba nama platforms afana nalawo to talk about matters as affect abona as a country. But definitely not la. We must stop entertaining that guy. Ugcine sekhuluma umsangano nje, you know. There's something else obeyivezile manje, talking ukhuluma ngama issues wethu. No, we must not give him that platform.
Okay, so Nkuza mean would you
yes stop? And you must tell your fellow colleagues now, hey.
Next question, sorry, have illegal foreigners ever offered you guys money to stop Lentinians? I can assume there've been threats, maybe, if not maybe social media, but have they offered to be like, nah, Mali,
yes,
bribe, what? Is there maybe anything you'd like to share around that?
Yeah, the very same Somalians, Lababe has, they once offered 10 million.
To say, please stop what you're doing, so niggas in Mali, just back.
Yes, so that was the first approach. Okay. And I think the guy, where's Anavo? I'm suspecting who's why it's Maliabo, because what had some of the money, because after Lapo Mastina sits as Funduklala Nabo, Labantu, Wanyamalala. And Wanyamalala, like why feel like, I think that's a country Nangas Lumugu, because most of the so sinking and we are captured already. And that was the first attempt as Funimali. Sifunuglung is a country. Now the last attempt was I think last year, when they came and actually offered some money. But we are not saying ni stop, but can we share? South Africans, maybe can we be the big bosses? South Africans are being a pants weight.
Yes.
And obviously they mean they want to own the supermarkets, the wholesalers, and the manufacturing value chain. And South Africans must just own Spaza shop. And you know they came with big amounts of monies. And they actually, you know, but the suspicious thing, what were their intention, is that Bebe Funami and be part of those discussions. So we sent a team to go and talk to them, but no. And they assured that we want that lady.
Jeez.
And they said, no, you first talk to us, and the deal was cut because that lady was not available. But we had actually told them, we cannot be bribed, because you've done it for the longest time. We believe bana le leverage abanayo, because and we've seen it, and we cannot even hide it. We've seen how the ANC is so comfortable ngama Pakistan. I'm not sure if organization, but there's some Pakistan.
There's some organization where they have meetings. I think I've seen.
Yes.
They were even party agents. I saw when in one voting station where there were a lot of them wearing ANC regalia.
Okay. So Tina, we will not sell our country, Tina. I mean, we are suffering, and if we don't do it, then Abantwana Betu is going to be worse for them, because as Funubashia Gune president or Konko or President Usani. So yeah.
Thank you. Are the Patriotic Alliance and Action SA doing any work on the ground, or are they just making noise on media platforms? Because we obviously had Gayton McKenzie talk about Abahambe. He's kind of gotten quiet, focusing on the sports ministry. The Action SA, I'm not really sure if they're doing work. So with the work you guys are doing on the ground, because people know you guys are on the ground, do you see the Patriotic Alliance? Do you see Action SA?
Okay, let me just that. I don't think it's fair to speak for other organizations. Okay. Like I get it, the podcast is about the EOD and our stance. Yeah, but I think they're doing their part. I do not know. Abantu kumele bazikhulumele. Abantu kumele bazikhulumele. Let's say abo Victoria bakhona on the ground. I'm not going to talk about the politicians. They sure.
But they are some of their members. You see.
Yeah, but they are members because we. Actually, I'm not sure in Joburg I haven't seen, but I know in KZN there is like he's on the ground, and then here, so yeah, but asas maybe, but Tama video, you know, yeah, I think you should invite them to come and speak for themselves.
Okay, and is polishing it. Well, no, but yeah, that's fine. You know, because we're actually here to talk about Dudola, but Bakulumi language. Okay, we'd like to believe Bakulumi language A1 nat. Yeah. But you know, also I also want to applaud abantu abafana no the lady waseTshwane, Moya. Nasipi Moya,
yes, the
who's the mayor.
Yes.
You know, she's been doing an excellent job. We are Zama, that lady. She's patriotic.
She's under Action SA.
Yeah, she's under Action SA. And there's also a lady by the name of Victoria. You see Victoria. Yes, you see Victoria on the ground, like literally every day. She likes what she's doing. She wants to make sure she protects the country. Yeah. But like you said, you know, we thought you should know who to be voted with them in the past elections, and we thought we were strengthening that patriotic voice. Maybe again, we're expecting there will be more support and easy, because at least there'll be that financial muscle and they have a voice, manje, inside parliament, municipalities. But unfortunately, again, that's what it is. You
guys' Operation Dudola decided that we will all vote for the Patriotic Alliance because they're speaking our language.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if you know, we had registered, but Guabanama technical glitches, and we've been in and out of court with IEC, and it's kind of late, and we needed to, direct our votes to somebody who speaks our language. Yeah. And at that time, Imabahabe was happening, and it was, intense, even on the ground at times. But just after elections, Zaji isn't. But it's a story for another day. Hey, Sabrata,
Sis Ayanda, why are women seeming to lead the fight? Where are the men? Should we even be concerned about that? Because you guys are speaking about protecting the country, you speak about patriotism. When we normally speak those languages, we speak maybe even war, and we expect to see men at the forefront. So why are we seeing Sis Ayanda or Sis Zandile seeming to be the voices to protect our families and communities?
I think it has happened in the past. We've got our heroes in the past, our women. I think we're here in this mess because of this men, So
this man,
no. Okay, you should count yourself because okay, for at least when I'm giving us the platform, but we're in this mess because of these men. A lot of men, they're not doing anything. Instead, they're doing the opposite. We've seen most of even the cops, it's okay. I'm not saying women are not there, they are women, but you can see with in number yabantu ababoshwayo kuwo wonke aba-involved kulama crimes, ukusebenza kulama syndicates, ukusebenzisana nabantu bangaphandle. The politicians ezisifake lana, yes, bakhona ama-politicians, bakhona abomama, few of them, but lots of them, like, you know, we have one parliament with some MPs, it's mostly men abayenza lento le. So the people who were trusted ukuthi basilide ngabo laba basibeke lana. So I'm very concerned about abantu. I think our abantu besilisa, they just lost hope. You know, they are tired, and if only we can have those patriotic voices, the few ones about patriotic abantu besilisa, to go and wake those abanye abaleli, because thina as izimbokodo you can see ukuthi baningi kanjani abantu besifazane abathi mabebona imbokodo basuke babona ukuthi okay, if women can do it, yebo. So men are busy hustling ngendlela yabo, nayo enye nobugebengu. So I think that's why they don't have time to go there, because they're still getting impilo yabo iyaqhubeka, yebo. Bayakhona ukuhamba bayoshaya ama-heist, abanye babo nabo labantu labo abahluphayo, abanye babhizi bayagroove banjani, but it's you guys who are here who are supposed to be calling on men.
Yeah. So you spoke about to put Kruger, no put Solomon, I think.
Kruger and Solomon is the same person.
It's the same person?
Yes.
Okay.
So Kruger is the nickname.
Okay, so but you're saying at least in Tutula there is a man.
There are men. Okay. So we, as far as we share a blanket approach, because the very first people ababe corner in the inception of Itudula are actually men. Okay. I was the only woman actually, and before gay Ikula and all that, we go like your likes of Peter Dimba, the chairperson, and you know Braden that left was also part of us when we started calling our meetings. Okay. It's just too good to be ahead as a country. You know, see, Gube Nabantu who went to go and fight for freedom. Yes. But the very same people who fought are the very same people esebejikela thina manje, you know, esebenze South Africa refugee camp, because manje even ama-foreigners are integrated, bahlala nathi emalokishini, abanama camps wabo, just like in the other countries. When you go to Uganda, and I mean the likes of Solomon Kruger. Yes. Kruger is a military veteran. Baphuma bahamba bayotraina kwamanye ama-country, and maybe hamba bafika lapho bebanekhona labo, and maybe funa nokuya edrobheni, they had permits ukuthi ngifuna ukuya edrobheni, and they were given like 4 hours ukuthi uhambe ubuye, you know, and they respected the laws of those countries bebekubo at that time. So we just heard ukuthi the very same people abalwela inkululeko yethu yibo futhi abasirobha yona, because those people are the ones that are selling the country manje. So sithe as women sibamba la isika khona manje, because even abomama bango 1956 they did it, and you know abomama, they are strong. I mean yithi esizwa ipain umntana endlini mekedla ama drugs